ND filters, or neutral density filters, are something that both photographers and videographers use. And if you're like me, I didn't get involved with ND filters until a little bit later down in my career as a photographer and videographer. It's one of those things where I thought I could do without them, and I mean, you can, it just kind of makes it a lot harder. And the sooner you get into them, the easier life is gonna be, trust me.
Every single day I feel the pressure.
That's why I wanted to make a really quick video showcasing a filter that I think is honestly probably one of the best ones that you can get out there for the money. At least in my experience, it's done really well. That filter is this guy, the Freewell 2 to 5 stop VND. Now this edition specifically is the Mist edition. I think they just make a standard one too, but I opted for the Mist edition just for that extra dreamy look. And specifically, I use this for video, so that's kind of why I did that. For those of you who need a little bit more information on ND filters, to sum it up, an ND filter essentially is like sunglasses for your camera. It reduces the amount of light entering the lens without changing the colors. This lets you use slower shutter speeds or wider apertures in bright conditions, helping you create effects like motion blur or shallow depth of field even in strong sunlight. And that's the biggest reason why you'd want an ND filter, in my opinion, is if you had a lens with like a 1.8 or a 1.2 and you're trying to shoot out in broad daylight, it's really hard to take advantage of that depth of field without an ND filter. And a Mist filter, like what I have, softens the image, giving it a dreamy cinematic look by just slightly diffusing the light and reducing contrast. It adds a gentle glow to highlight smooth skin tones and can create a hazy atmospheric feel without losing too much sharpness. And like I said, this specifically is a VND, which is a variable ND filter. A variable ND filter usually has a 2 to 5 stop range. It means it can reduce the light entering the camera by 2 to 5 stops. A stop is a unit of light reduction. Each stop halves the amount of light. So a 2 to 5 stop VND allows you to adjust between blocking a little light, 2 stops, to a moderate amount of light, 5 stops. This range is useful in various light conditions, like shooting outdoors or when you want more control over exposure settings without having to swap filters. The only problem with some variable ND filters is it can affect image quality. The image quality of a variable ND filter can sometimes be lower compared to a regular ND filter. At extreme settings, variable ND filters might introduce issues like X patterns or cross polarization or uneven exposure across the frame, which is why you don't necessarily want to skimp out when you get filters. A lot of variable ND filters out there do cost a pretty penny. Take the Peter McKinnon edition one, or pretty much anything from Polar Pro. The reason being though is that they do it extremely well. And pretty much all of their VNDs, or at least the ones I've tested and used from Polar Pro, their higher end ones, don't really have any issues with loss in quality. But that's where I think the Freewell comes in pretty clutch here, because not everyone is gonna have $300 or so to drop on filters for their camera. But this guy only being at $110 that you can get on Amazon, it has impressed me quite well. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of footage to compare like the different stop ranges, but I do have some footage here that I'm playing currently in the background of some shots that I got with this filter. Again, keep in mind, mine is the Mist edition, but overall, I really think this filter does a great job at capturing stuff just out in broad daylight. The lens I shot all this with was the G Master 24-70 2.8. So being able to utilize that 2.8 aperture, especially when I wanted to maximize my depth of field, is huge. That's the way you have to look at purchasing a filter like this. Yes, it's another expense, but it actually ends up unlocking the full potential of your camera, really. I got this filter a number of years ago, and so unfortunately I lost all the packaging, and I actually lost the front cap. It comes with a magnetic front like lens cap, which was really slick, but I unfortunately lost it one day, and I really don't know what happened to it. It wasn't because it fell off, it's because I took it off, and then I set it somewhere, and I just never picked it back up. I wanted to kind of do an unboxing of everything you do get with this thing, but this is all I have left, is the filter itself. So maybe another day. Anyways, I didn't want to make this video super long because there's a lot more that I could get into with ND filters, and there's honestly probably more that I could even learn about ND filters too. So, but I wanted to just out of my experience show you guys this one and showcase that it is really a solid filter. For 110 bucks, it's extremely hard to beat. But if you want to try this one, I do have a link down in my description below, which it is an affiliate link. So if you end up using that link, it helps support me as a creator. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just Google it and find it that way. Either way, I recommend checking out because it's been one of those products that I've had in my camera bag where I'm like, man, this is a really nice purchase, and I'm just really glad that I had this. So my hope is that maybe if you've been looking for an ND filter or you're just not sure which one to try, by all means, give this one a try. That is it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you who watches all the way to the end. You guys are always my favorite. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like down below, and also subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'm currently on my way to 1,000 subscribers, and I've got a giveaway that might involve some DJI mics, maybe. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's enough consuming content, guys. Get out there and create something yourself. I'll see you all in the next video.
Every single day I feel the pressure. Diamonds in my eyes, I know I'm special. In the gym, I gotta get